My name is James. This is my beautiful wife, Heidi Drake. We have the privilege of serving with Campus Crusade for Christ, now known as Cru. And before I tell you what we do here in Miami, I wanted to tell you a little bit about why we do it. It wasn't long ago that I was a troubled teenager. I had just gotten expelled from school. I was in trouble with the law, and I had brought great shame and embarrassment to my family. It was about that time that I heard the gospel, and I knew I needed forgiveness, but I wasn't ready to follow Jesus. Fast forward a few years, I found myself in college, pledging a fraternity for all the wrong reasons, and there I was confronted by the chaplain of that fraternity, and he called me out, and he called me what I really was, which was a hypocrite. And he put a book in my hand called Absolute Surrender by Andrew Murray. And I read it. And I was so convicted, I fell on my knees my freshman year in my dorm, and I cried out for God's mercy, and I said, if you'll have me, I'm yours. And I meant it from the bottom of my heart. That was a turning point in my life. It wasn't long after that I saw this godly girl walk by on campus. And I said, God, I pray you'd give me a woman like that one day. Never in a million years did I think that he would give me this amazing woman to do life and ministry with. We began serving at our local church through the youth department there. And it was fun just to see how God could use us almost in spite of ourselves to serve him. We were preparing for graduation. My wife was a few years ahead of me. She likes to say she dated me because she could train me. I was so young. And she went on to study and get her physician assistant's degree and was preparing for a field in medicine. I was preparing to go into commercial real estate where all the rich Christian guys I knew were headed. So that was the career track. And then we had this divine interruption where somebody challenged us and said, hey, why don't you tithe your career like you would your money? And to be honest, we thought, why not? So that's what we did. So we joined Campus Crusade for Christ, and they sent us down to the South Pacific. And there we got to see how God could use us to reach first-generation believers, see them grow in their faith and multiply in the faith. And we got to thinking, man, if what we believe is true, is there anything greater that we could give our lives to? Our families came and visited us because they couldn't believe all the stories we were telling them. When my family came and right before they left, my father looked me in the eye and he said, son, I'm proud of you. It wasn't always that way. There is power in this cross. There is power in the name of Jesus. He changed me from the inside out. He took me out of darkness and he filled my heart with light. And every day that my feet hit the ground, there is a sense of purpose because I know that my Redeemer lives. That 1-year internship has turned into a 21-year career now in full-time ministry. And it's been one of the greatest privileges of our life, helping fulfill the Great Commission. And Heidi, I think we've got another 20 years in us. What do you think?
I think we can go 40.
Okay.
So in my previous life, as he mentioned, I was a physician assistant, and I got to operate on people's hearts and lungs. And you know, I felt we had just come off the mission field when I went back to work for a short time, and I figured, you know, man, everyone's gonna wanna get right with God before they have their chest cut open, right? So I would usually get to work early and try to pray with my patient, and as I would work patients up, I'd try to ask them maybe some spiritual history questions. But I really wasn't sure, how do I go about sharing my faith here in this workplace? And I would ask other Christian physicians and nurses and whatnot, like, how do you live out your faith here? And the main answer I got from the doctors was, I try to be a good doctor. And I thought, wow, I hope all of our doctors are trying to be good doctors, whether you're an atheist or not, you know? So anyway, I was a little jaded by that, but enter Cru. We had been working with Cru for quite some time. And, you know, Cru has been here in South Florida for over 50 years. And you've already heard from several of our missionaries, your missionaries that were here with military, with family, with campus. And so we're working in the city sphere, which is kind of a broad audience. And because of my background, I was asked to help give leadership to the medical community. So I partner with the Christian Medical and Dental Association. And there, I really started seeing how you could share your faith in the healthcare community. And when I'd been working in the hospital, I saw how much patients look up to their surgeons and how much you rely on your PAs, your nurses. And I thought, wow, if these healthcare providers really felt equipped to share their faith, what a difference they could make. And so I began getting to partner with the CMDA. And I meet this girl, Courtney. She is 6 foot tall, maybe weighs 110 pounds, super smart, super introverted. And she knew Jesus. She had struggled with some things in her past. But as I got to know her and disciple her, and she started learning really how her faith impacts her everyday life, I was able to send her to this training practicum, really. And there she was able to go into hospitals and learn how to take a spiritual history. She led her first patient to the Lord as a doctor. And I've been getting to see now with our community here, we've been getting to lead mission trips to Nicaragua and just really invest and train these medical professionals how to share their faith. And again, just seeing lives changed time after time as people really feel equipped to live out their faith. And it's been amazing.
It is amazing. And so Cru in South Florida has been here for over 50 years. We're carrying on a long legacy of ministry, and it has served a number of audiences, from students to military to athletes to professionals to even families. But there is one thing that we do across all those audiences, and that's help fulfill the Great Commission. And with the Lord going before us, we believe the best is yet to come. So thank you. Thank you so much for investing into missions, to all these missionaries that you just saw in front of you. Thank you for being a church family that supports missionaries, not only financially and in prayer, but it's a church family. We have a number of staff who are members at this church, the Tylers and the Claytons, who are doing amazing things in campus ministry, and the wonderful tag team duo, Dave and Pauline Severite, reaching executives through Worldview's ministry. They are flourishing in ministry because they have a healthy church to connect with. And thank you for your prayers. We would ask for your continued prayers, especially as Heidi and I travel all around the country, speaking to literally thousands of couples through Families Life's Weekend to Remember marriage conferences. And also I'd ask for your prayers for me as I begin serving as the Miami Marlins team chaplain this spring. Pray for the team while you're at it, all right? They need those prayers. But we are just so grateful for this church and for all that you've done for missions across the city and the world, for that matter. If there's anything Heidi and I could ever do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're at jamesandheidi.com. That's jamesandheidi.com. Thank you, and God bless you.